word, but now I'm in this class of founders, board members, and nonprofits where I'm like, hey, my treasurer said I need to do this, which I think is holding me back. What do you say? And they'd be like, oh, you can talk to my accounting department. I talk to them. Then I'd go to the board member and be like, hey, this isn't how it's done in the vendor space, like even in the nonprofit space. So it kind of gave me leverage a little bit to be like, oh, I'm learning from them and leveraging us. And from that moment on, we scaled rapidly. I was able to bring on a team and start doing stuff the right way. Because I was doing the old school way where we talked about that. It was like, you just assume you're not supposed to take a salary. I didn't think I was supposed to take a salary. I was going broke. I was putting myself into debt. Every girl I dated was like, it was ruining it because I didn't make money. And I was just like, this is my sacrifice. This is what I need to do. Then when I talked to these funders didn't want to give money to volunteers. Could you imagine if you had the option of giving someone who ran a podcast studio $75,000 and you're going to make sure that you have this whole thing lined up for an entire year and you know that they're taking money as a salary? Or would you give it to a volunteer who kind of runs a boutique and assume that they're going to be there the entire year for you? You're probably going to think the person who takes a salary is going to be there for you if you give them the money. And the volunteer might have some reasons why he didn't show up. Well, I just volunteer. I don't take any money. Like I use it to rent the studio. I don't take any money. So you can't blame me. Like that's the mindset that donors have on the highest level. So when I met with Wounded Warrior Products team, they're like, yeah, you don't make enough for us to actually give you a grant, which sounds counterintuitive. But when I realized that it's because they don't know me. They did now. They're like, actually, now that we know you, we're going to give you money because we think your programs are awesome. They're successful. And you work like I was working like 80 to 100 hours a week. But on paper, I wasn't. On paper, you see it and you're like, I'm not giving my money to this volunteer. Like he's going to make excuses why he's not getting stuff done. So there's a huge disconnect in that. But the moment I started paying myself a salary and I started paying the two guys that were with me a salary, all of a sudden we went from helping like 18 veterans to helping 100 veterans. I was like, oh, that was weird. And then we started bringing in someone else. And now we're at like 1,200 veterans a year now with a team of like 10 people doing programs in 19 cities, 14 states, Puerto Rico. And that wouldn't be the case if we were an all-volunteer organization because you can't have everyone sacrifice their own lives for everyone else because we would stay at the 30 veterans served. If everyone was sacrificing their lives, they'd have to get second and third jobs and not be able to actually support veterans. And so there's kind of like this misconception in the nonprofit space when they start seeing people make money and they're like, you can't do that. You're not a good person if you do that. It's like, no, legitimately, I need to do this because if I want to have a wife and a kid one day and also just sustain, I need to have a job, and this is my job. And plus, I was the program.